this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So if you saw my recent video, we made that whole page collage sheet. It's not the whole book page collage sheet. It was the whole, you know, decorative paper collage sheet. So very similar concept, but obviously instead of using book pages, we were using the decorative pages. And I did talk in that video that I had this one that we made really a long time ago. And sadly, it's just been sat in my kind of, you know, the mess that is beside my desk. And obviously, as you can see, it's really looking the worse for wear. It's got very screwed up and things because it's quite a big sheet. So I'm a little bit kind of gutted about that and a bit cross with myself because, of course, why did I leave it there? It was going to get ruined, wasn't it? But I thought that let's come back and revisit before it's, you know, ruined completely and kind of beyond salvageability, and make some bits and pieces from it. So this is a digi, I think, in my shop. Now I'm wondering whether it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is actually a digi now in my shop. But yeah, let's kind of just get kind of making some bits. So I absolutely loved how that gold paint looked on the other one. Now, I don't know whether it's going to look so good on this being, you know, kind of book pagey colours instead of the pattern. Ooh. Oh, honestly, you touch anything on my desk and it's just going to knock everything flying. So, yeah, yeah, I don't know whether it's going to look quite so good, but I'm going to just attempt to do that same technique. So I just used a little bit of kind of greaseproof paper to dab on some gold paint on the last one. And yeah, I'm just going to do kind of the same thing here. Just going in very random kind of spots all over the sheet. And again, obviously I'm having a struggle fitting it into the screen. So I'm just kind of like moving the sheet around so that I can fit it in a little bit better. So yeah, please excuse the fact that I'm, you know, moving this around. It's going to end up obviously upside down in order to actually be able to do it at all on the screen. So it's just using some gold acrylic paint. Whoops, just kind of smear that off because it was covering that lady's face. Just some gold paint with some water. So that's exactly what I did in the last video, if you saw that one as well. So yeah, I just thought that worked really, really nicely. So I wanted to do exactly the same, and I'm hoping that the effects are going to be, you know, just as pretty and just as good. So let's just go in like that. Okay, might have to have a bit more here. Oh, I think I've used it all. Yep, not got a lot more there. Right, okay, so let's just quickly wipe this up so I'm not then dabbing anything else onto anything else. Oops, I'm going to just save that piece of greaseproof paper. I did save the last one because I said, oh, just in case, you know, it's it goes really nicely to put in things. But yeah, I haven't actually re-looked at it yet. So, because I'm filming this just a couple of days after the last video. So, well, the next day. Right, okay, but it might be some time before they actually go up. So, yeah, they might not necessarily go up next to each other. So, right, here is my large sheet. If I just bring it kind of back in and show you guys. Again, I'm hoping that the camera is kind of picking up the gold specks. Now, it doesn't look as good as yesterday's, I have to say, or, you know, the book page one. I'm just going to dry it all, just so as I don't dab that gold all over and kind of smudge it and smear it around. So, yeah, let's just dry it off. Okay. Okie dokie. Right, now, haven't got a clue what I'm going to be making with this. Like I say, I'm a little bit cross with myself because I've left it to get so tatty. So that's, you know, that's of course a bit of a factor. But yeah, you know, I mean, hopefully it's still perfectly usable. Hopefully it's not kind of completely now ruined. So what I might do is start by tearing this off. Now, obviously this, you know, this is kind of like torn anyway. So I'm just going to tear this down like that. Okay. Now that gold paint's not dry because I've just dabbed some onto my hand. So that is one piece. Now, obviously we can tidy up how this has been torn down, but again, just thought it might look good, maybe just on an envelope or something. So that's that piece. In fact, sorry. Oh, sorry, I've got a frog in my throat now. It was absolutely fine, and now as soon as I've started talking, I've now got a frog in my throat. So yeah, I'm really sorry about that. Right, now I've got a bunch of envelopes, so I'm just going to see if I've got any of my favourite, my buff coloured envelopes. No, I'm going to have to dig them out. Okay, let's just put that to one side. So let's pull this back in and kind of just go in and see what other kind of bits that we're going to want to make. So obviously, I mean, there's almost like two halves to this sheet, so it's kind of lending itself, you know, to two half kind of pieces. I mean, maybe that one. So I'm going to just go in and cut this one down. Okay. Now I want to try and get that whole shoe in, because otherwise that's just going to seem really strange. So just kind of cutting that down. That butterfly is flapping, so again, just move that out of the way so that, you know, it looks a little bit better. So that's another piece. Okay, so going on that kind of basis, I'm going to just cut this one down here, just going, I think, along this section. Okay, right, now wondering actually whether we could do this as two pieces, or whether actually it's not going to be quite big enough. Thing is, it's a bit wide to have as one. Right, let's just cut this down here. Now again, am I going to be able to cut that butterfly like that? Okay. So we've got that one there. Okay. Right. Again, you know, it would be better to probably have this as an entire picture. So I'm just going to cut this down here, trying to keep that picture, you know, as a whole. So just go again across here. Whoops. Obviously, I'm going to tidy these bits up in a minute. So if you're thinking, oh my goodness, she's making such a mess of that, I am, you know, going to tidy this all up. So yeah, hopefully it's going to actually end up looking good. So again, just go up here like that, and across. Okay. Like that, and right, now this section's got a lot of stuff going on, so just wondering what to do. Now I might just kind of, you know, cover up like we do, just to see what type of things we would get if we cut it down, like, you know, in sections. This is really helpful kind of technique to be able to see what your pieces are going to look like. So, you know, because you don't want to kind of cut things down and then think, oh, now I've got kind of, you know, completely useless, not usable. You know, what you do want is usable. Completely useless kind of piece. So obviously like that. Well, I think that would be okay, actually. So yeah, I'm going to cut this piece across, just going across here. Now again, obviously some of that lace is going to no doubt kind of drop off because it's not quite glued down properly. Oh, it's holding up okay actually so far. So let's just cut this down here like that. Okay. So, and like I say, I'm going to tidy all these bits up in a minute, so I'm not going to just leave them looking as tatty as they actually currently are. Right, now I'm wondering I could go like that, and then we'd have possibly that piece there, and that's section there, which I'm not quite sure how we would do that, but I think that probably is best unless we do, whoops. I mean, that's quite nice, but then we do lose a portion, which is a shame. You know, it's a shame to lose any of it, really, isn't it? But let's just see. Well, that's not too bad, actually. I'm just wondering whether this would actually be too wide for a page. So if that went to there, let me see what I'm left with. Okay, so we would have to kind of cut this section down, or possibly in half. Oh, I don't know. This is so tricky now. Oh, right, let's just go for this. So fingers crossed that I'm not going to make a horrible decision and live to regret this. So I'm going to cut across here, because I'd like to keep at least some, you know, of these roses at the top. So if not all of them, which of course not all of them, because I've just straight away cut some off. But yeah, let's cut this down here. Oops, like that. Oh my goodness, could my cutting have been any worse today? Just awful, awful, awful cutting. Okay, right. Okay, let me move my little butterfly wings out the way a bit, so I can just try and neaten up this edge, which is, again, hideous. Okay, right, well, we'll come back to that and kind of decorate that. Obviously, I've got this strip. There is a temptation in me to want to keep that. Now, what is wrong with me? I mean, what do I think I'm honestly going to be doing with that? It's just crazy. I must not hoard this. I must get rid of this. Yes, right. Let's just be strong. So this one, I'm thinking cut, yeah, cut like this, I think. So, yeah, okay. Because then hopefully we're going to have two bits. This one could be like a just, you know, decorative edge strip or something. And this one I'm going to just tidy up a little bit along there. And that would be then, you know, a pocket on a page. So yeah, took a little bit of kind of figuring out, but we got there in the end. So I'm going to obviously line these bits with some book page and stuff so that they're, you know, more robust to use. I mean, obviously, just like the one that we did previously, you know, this has got sections which are thicker than others because, of course, you know, it's got sections where you've got multiple book pages layered, if you see what I mean. So, you know, some is kind of thin and flimsy, some is kind of stronger, but yeah, let's just go round and glue this down. So, and I'm just gluing this, whoops, gluing this onto some book page. So you can see, I mean, that whole sheet needed extra glue. So, and I'll just take that piece off. Right. Okay, so glue this down to just a sheet of book page. Okay. And I will probably take these to the sewing machine. So, you know, it's not kind of the end of the world if they're not like right to the edges or anything like that. So again, just going to trim this up slightly like that. Trim down on this edge. Okay, and then across here, and just trim down this edge as well. Okay, that looks really pretty. Now this lace is kind of flapping, but to be honest, when I stitch this, it might be that that gets caught with the sewing machine, or, you know, I can probably just glue it down, or we can just leave it flapping. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, I mean, that's really pretty, isn't it? So that's that one. We have got this one. Now, this one's not quite so flimsy, it's got to be said. Just, you know, it's trial and, or not trial and error, but, you know, the luck of the draw, because some of it, of course, has got the double, you know, doubled up book pages anyway, if you see what I mean. So this one just happens, it's got sections which have got more than one book page layer. So it's actually not too flimsy in the first place. So I don't actually even need to, you know, double layer that, or, you know, back it onto book page. Now, this one here, obviously, again, I'm going to have to trim the top up because that's looking pretty shoddy. The top stiffer, well, actually, no, the middle section's stiffer than the top. So again, this will need, you know, thickening up by just placing on some book page. So again, I'm just going to trim this down slightly, like that. And I mean, I quite like that kind of scruffy edge, it's got to be said. So let's just see what we can do. Oops. So, you know, you might have bits where, oops, they're not stuck down so well, because of course, you know, when I did these, I just tended to stick like around the edges, if you know what I mean, you know, where that book page was going to be. So, you know, where it was going to touch. I didn't really overly glue the book page in the middles of the book page. So, you know, I've got sections which are not glued down brilliantly now that they've been cut. Okay, let's come right over to that edge actually. You know, and again, I'm going to be, oops, taking this to the sewing machine. So hopefully, you know, some of these bits are going to be stitched down with, you know, the bits at the edge. Okay. Yay. That bit's really nice. So I'm just going to trim this down now that it's stuck onto the, you know, the back side of the book page, or the, yeah, the reverse piece of book page. So, right. Just want to move that flower out the way because I'm hoping that I'm going to, you know, manage to keep that flower on there. And just go down that side. Now here, just going to tear this slightly because I'm hoping I'm going to keep that nice, like, raw edge, which of course, if I just cut that, you know, inevitably I'm going to cut that off. Right, let's move my butterfly out of the way. Oh, come on. Okay. Yep, so that piece looks okay now. Right, let's have a look at this one. So yeah, again, this is quite thin in places. So definitely needs, you know, like double layering. So again, you can see, you know, I've got some book page parts which are not really stuck down brilliantly, so I just stick them down. And, you know, that's literally because, like I say, where I've glued the book page together, I just had glued like the edges that were going to touch. I didn't kind of glue in the middle like I would with a normal sort of collage page, if that makes sense. So, yeah, it's just kind of going to happen that there's going to be bits that are sort of lifting or, you know, not glued brilliantly. Okay, so again, just kind of put this down here towards the edge of that page. And let's just spread that glue out. Okay. Right, I'm going to cut this down. Because although I loved that tatty edge on that other one, this edge is not kind of so obviously a tatty edge, if you know what I mean. It just looked like an unintentional tatty edge, if there is such a thing. So just going across here with the, yeah, tidy that up. I will have to go that again because already I can see it's not particularly straight or anything. Neither's this. Oh dear, I'm having, oh my goodness, did you just see that? My piece is getting smaller by the second. Oh my goodness. I don't know what's going on with my cutting today. Well, to be fair, this is kind of moving about. As I'm cutting it, it's bending. Because it's quite flimsy. It's just kind of moving. So, yeah, not the easiest thing to cut. Okay. Oh, that looks rubbish, doesn't it? Right, well, again, hopefully we're going to, you know, make these look better when I take them to the sewing machine. So, shall we do just one more, you know, and take, you know, to take to the sewing machine, and then you know, I'll do the rest kind of off camera because this can't be very interesting to be watching, I'm sure. So yeah, let's just take this one. Right, so again, I mean, I've got a really scruffy top going on here, so I probably want to kind of take it off about there. So again, let's just pop this down onto the book page. I mean, I could have made these into tags actually, but yeah, it didn't really occur to me. So, okay. I mean, the other thing that we could have done was used some masking tape or something to actually glue these down. And that would have been quite nice, I think. So, ooh, dear. Right, I'm just trying to put plenty of glue where that torn edge is, because, of course, that's like a vulnerable point now. You know, because it could, you know, of course, tear further. So, don't want that happening. Okay. Okay. Right, okay. Let's have a look here. So again, just going to cut this down here on this edge piece. Like that. And like that. Put it down here. Oops. And just across at the top. Now, I might just leave that tear in there, because I mean, the chances are I probably will put like some lace or something on here anyway. So, you know, and I don't mind that. I think it looks quite nice actually. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of leave that bit like that. So I'm going to take these quickly to the sewing machine and just stitch around them. Again, like I did in the last, you know, when we did the last pieces, I might just put like some little scrappy bits of stitching, you know, maybe in a couple of odd places, you know, maybe like some zigzag or something. I'm not sure. And then we will come back. So I'll be back in a minute. Right, I am back from the sewing machine. Now, what I have dragged out today is that same old lace that I used on the last ones, but weirdly, it just goes perfectly again with these ones. So I thought, let's use that. And then I'm going to kind of pull out some of the accent colours that are, you know, in the bits that are glued onto the pieces, if you see what I mean. So I'm going to just glue this on to here. And then what I'm going to do is, yep, terrifying and, you know, possibly not to many people's cups of tea. I'm going to try and pull out like the accent colours. So for this one, I'm going to just take some of this bright pink ribbon and ruffle it along this edge, because I thought this would just add, you know, taking it to the next level and kind of making it extra, you know, extra pretty and extra kind of special. So again, what I might do is just go around the edges with some gold paint, just like we did on the last ones. Oops, and I just bring my gold paint back in and put it back down on the floor. So let's bring that back in. Again, just going to kind of wet it down, just so it's hopefully not quite so solid, you know, so it's kind of better matching the rest of the gold. So yeah, oh dear, that's now very insipid, isn't it? Okay, so yeah, we can just kind of have a bit of that and just, you know, run it down in one or two places. Okay, right, then I'm going to glue it onto here. Whoops. So again, just going to take my hot glue gun and just run that straight down there. Now, could have obviously glued this with the sewing machine, stuck this with the sewing machine, stitched it even with the sewing machine. I just hadn't planned to do this at that point. So yeah, obviously, you know, in hindsight, maybe that would have been better to have actually done that. But, you know, it looks okay like this. It's fine. And, you know, you just go with whatever method suits you best. So either's fine. Once it's, you know, stuck on a page, you're not even going to know really whether it's been glued or stuck, because to be honest, you know, you're going to have such a lot else going on the page that, you know, no one's going to really be looking and thinking, oh, she glued that, she didn't stick it, didn't stitch it. Oh, I just can't speak. Right, okay, so I'm going to take my pink. Now, I don't think I want it right down the edge, although that did look quite nice. Let's just check. That's the whole way. but I was intending on just having it like at the top. So let's just see. But sort of ruffly. Oh yeah, I think I prefer it just ruffled. So just going to do that dovetail end. Okay, and then just going in. Now probably, yeah, want to staple this on. Now this is quite thick now. It's gone from being super flimsy to actually super thick now that I've, you know, stuck it onto an extra layer. Plus we've got the lace. This particular section's got some other bits stuck on it. So let's hope my stapler's going to cooperate. Yeah. Okay. Like that. Come on. Okie dokie. Oops. Come on. Like that. And a little bit more. Oops. Now I really don't like being too orderly when I kind of staple on a ruffle or anything. You know, I just want it really scrappily placed down. So like that. Okay, and then just snip the top out like that. Oh, how pretty does that look? And then what I've also done is I've pulled out these flowers. Oops, these are those flowers that I bought from Amazon, which I think I've shown in, well, I've definitely shown them in another video. It's just a case of, has that video gone up yet? Now, these have got this little plastic kind of bit on the back. So the easiest way I've found to get that off is just take my little pliers and snip that, and then this just peels off, and then I can take the whole middle section out like that. Okay, so I could then have a little flower on there as well, just to make that really, really, really pretty. So again, just going to staple that in place, anyway, staple it in place like that. So really, really pretty, and we could even finish that with a little pearl. Why wouldn't we? Well, I mean, unless it looks rubbish, and then of course that's why we wouldn't. Let's see how that looks. Oh, that's really pretty, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so let's just take the pearl. Whoops. Glue that down. Just like that. Oh, how gorgeous is that? I love, love, love how this piece has turned out. Really, really love it. Right, let's put that to one side. Okay, so the next piece was this piece. Now, I have to say, this was probably my favourite section on the whole, you know, collage masterboard. Whether or not it will remain my favourite, I'm not sure. Because sometimes what happens is once I start playing around, you know, actually the bits that I did like the best kind of pale into, you know, into the background and kind of get overtaken by some other bits. So, yeah, let's see if we're going to still love this as much. But I really do love the touches of the gold, I have to say. They're really, you know, just taking things kind of to the next level, which, you know, I guess is what you want, isn't it? To make them extra special. So there, and yep, pull in my lace. Now I was thinking we could maybe have a little wax seal on here, but not sure. Right, let's just, oops. Oh, this has been joined, which is a bit weird, isn't it? But anyway, I digress. Right, now, do we want that there? Probably not, because I'm thinking this might actually end up that this is actually a bit wide for a page, and it definitely would be if we had, you know, the lace on the side. So let's just see how this would look. Do we want it just hanging from that side? Do we want it hanging from this side? I mean, again, probably doesn't really matter too much. So I'm going to put it on this side. Again, just hot gluing that straight down. Like that. Okay. Like that. Okie dokie. that looks really pretty, doesn't it? And then let's have, I'm thinking, got these goldy kind of flowers. Again, these are just like a fabric flower trim. But, you know, again, they're tying in all those shades of gold and things. So, yeah, I just thought they'd look really pretty on here. Now, I'm just wondering whether I could get away with one of these as well. I don't know. This might be going to be too much, but let's give it a try. So, again, just kind of take that top bit off of that flower, and then this whole bit peels out quite easily. Oops. Like that. Okay. Oh, that might be too much, actually. Yeah. Weirdly. Seems like it's suddenly then a little bit too much, perhaps. And that's, yeah, that's a bit weird because it's just like in the centre, isn't it? So, yeah, I might not go for that. So I might just go for perhaps this. Let's just glue this one down here. But I might put some bling on this one. So let's just pull in, just have a little bit here that I had noticed just now floating around. So yeah, let's just see where we could have this. I mean, we could put some bling on the butterfly, or we could put some bling like there direct onto that lace. That's quite pretty, isn't it? Let's do that. Okay. Yay, how pretty does that look? So, I mean, you know, they really don't have to be kind of any formula or anything like that going on. You know, I'm kind of gluing things pretty randomly. But, you know, they just sometimes you place something and, you know, it just works where it's gone. So, yeah, don't be kind of too fixed in where you're putting things, I think. And, you know, I'm terrible for being quite fixed and, you know, struggle to think outside the box. So, I mean, it's about reminding myself, really, of, you know, play around and kind of try out some other things as well. So, let's have a look here. Right. Oh, too green. Okay. What have I got here? So probably, you know, one of these, probably this one, I think. These are just my bright butterflies, but I thought actually perhaps these would look quite good somewhere. Okay. Oops. Okay. Right. I mean, not necessarily even needing another butterfly, but I just thought, well, you know, I always think more is more. So yeah, let's just go with that. Oh, how pretty does that look? Love how that looks. Okay, so that's another one down. Okay, next one. Right, we have this one here with the door. So just trim this down. So again, just going to kind of edge around some bits in gold. Tend to kind of focus on the corners really for some reason. Now I added some of that lovely paper bag, well not paper bag, but the paper packaging just across the bottom there, which I thought looked really pretty. This is still hanging, so yeah, I'm just going to leave that kind of hanging, I think. Let me get rid of a couple of threads which are a bit much. I mean, I like having the threads, but yeah, probably they were a bit too many. Right, we've got the other bit of lace here, so I'm thinking pop some lace. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? Straight across the top. So let's just hot glue this down. Okay, like that. Okay, and just then trim that off like that. So I hope everyone's having a good day. Hopefully you're doing some crafting. The sun is shining here. It's one of those cold, crisp days again. So again, just quickly, and I say this all the time, filming ahead. So yeah, if the weather's not doing that where you are currently, it's just because I'm filming ahead. So yeah, this is a cold, crisp day here. So yeah, very lucky that it's such a gorgeous day. Right. Yeah, probably have some bling. Now, wondering whether to have a wax seal on here. The only thing is I don't want it to kind of mimic that rose, if you see what I mean. So wondering where would I have the wax seal. Not sure. Let me just see if I've got any of my ribbon embellishments, you know, ready-made that would just go with this, because that would be pretty handy if I did. Oh, I can't really see any that are going to go with it quite at the moment. That's a bit too monstrous, isn't it? Yeah, I did a load of these, but they're actually probably a bit thick ribbon. I mean, you know, it's fine. I will eventually use them. But yeah, actually in hindsight, I probably needed to do slightly thinner ribbon. Oh my goodness, look at that. Of course, that's one that I'm now wanting to hoard, ironically, which is just crazy, isn't it? Right. Okay, let me just check that. Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it? But yes, it's a little bit on the weird side. Right. And do we want any of this fuchsia, you know, bright pink ribbon that we had on that first one? Could just kind of like ruffle that down there. That's quite pretty, isn't it? Let me just, again, just dovetail that end. Oops, now I've got the ribbon there. Let's just drop it out the box. Right. Yeah, I think I might do this here. Again, just like staple this into place. Okay. Like that. Oops. Okay, and just then snip that down. Yeah, that's pretty, isn't it? Now, do we want any flowers or anything? Yeah, I'm not sure that this one is the right one to have the wax seal, if you see what I mean, because I feel a bit like it's going to kind of be roughly the same size as that flower, which just feels like it's a little bit disproportionate. So yeah, probably best that I don't use this one, I think. Let me just check whether I want... I mean, we could have some green flowers. I don't know why this one's just kind of coming apart anyway. Oh, look, it must have been part of this one. Oh, no. I was going to say this is missing its back, but actually it's not. I wonder if those just peel off anyway. Oops. I've made all that big thing about cutting the end off, but actually maybe they kind of just, you know, flick apart anyway, because that took no effort to take that apart, did it? Oh, perhaps I'll have it like that. Right, again, just going to staple this into place. Oops. Okay, and oh, what have I done with my bling now? Oh, what did I do with that? That's the only thing, because this craft desk is, you know, craft mat is black. Obviously, the black bling just gets completely lost on here. I'll just cut another piece. Yeah, you just can't see it at all. Completely lost. Okay. Now, do we want it like that, where like everything's at the bottom of here? Or do you think we should have it kind of at the top? You know, does it need like balancing out, I wonder? Not sure. Let's just take a little pearl again to put in the centre of that flower. I mean, to be honest, they don't even really need anything in the centre. It looked, you know, pretty without anything in there. Yeah, I'm just kind of using the pearl just because I think it, you know, it just finishes it off a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to have a pearl. It looks fine, pretty fine without it. Oops. oh, I can't decide whether we want to have it all down the bottom or kind of like spread out the stuff. So we've got a more balanced thing. I mean, sometimes I really like it, like where there's loads of things going on in one place. Oh, do you know, I'm going to do that. Okay, right. And I love the way that this is still hanging off. Okay, right, so that's that piece. Okay, let's do this one, which was the other one that I've stitched on the sewing machine. So again, I added some more of that brown packing paper just off to the side, if you can see that. And yeah, looks really, really pretty. Now this one I'm thinking definitely we could do, you know, a lovely wax seal, couldn't we? So, right, let's just put some gold down here in this corner and a little bit onto the brown packing paper. Okay. Like that. Okay. Oh, how pretty does this look already? I've not even done anything to it. But already it's like, wow, that looks lovely. Now, I'm wondering whether I could have a flower with the wax seal as the centre of the flower, or whether actually that's just going to look weird, because actually it's going to be so big that the flower would just be lost under the wax seal and it would just look like something strange poking out from underneath. Oh, let's do the wax seal first, and yeah, then we can decide, can't we, if that's, you know, like looks too rubbish, then well, I mean, we can't decide actually, because no, the flower will be, you know, too late to stick the flower down. But okay, right, where is my stuff for doing my wax seal? Where's the lighter gone? Oh yeah, I've put that back on the shelf. Oh, it's always a surprise when I've actually bothered to put things away, to be honest. Okay, right, what colour wax shall we go for in here? Whatever it is, I'm going to definitely add a little bit of gold. I've got these gorgeous green ones, which I'm thinking would look quite nice on here. Do we want to mix it with a bit of pink? Yeah, maybe like that. What do we think? Okay, let's mix the, or melt the pink and the, then we'll put the green in a minute, so that hopefully we can kind of stir those two pinks around first and then put the green in. Okay, right, just whilst that's melting, I'm just going to have a look at this one, because this was the final one that I stitched. So again, just take all those threads and cut them all off. Okay. Right, okay. Get my lace, and yeah, let's just see what we might like to do with the lace here. Well, actually, we didn't add any lace to this one either yet, so we might want to just add a bit. Oh, let's have it like that, going off kind of at an angle. So lucky I tried that, because otherwise it might have been too late, and the you know, because the wax seal might just need to go across that lace, mightn't it? It's a shame, because I did do some zigzag stitching just along that bottom bit. I mean, you probably can't see it on the camera, to be honest, but yeah, it's just covered up now completely, obviously, by the lace. But you know, never mind, doesn't really matter, to be honest. Now I've just put that on at a complete you know, angle. I thought that looked quite nice on there at an angle like that. And yeah, let's just get my little tool. Well, it's just like a little pokey tool thing. Might have to have another pink pellet in there, I think. Yeah, and then we'll put the green one in. Okay, give that a little stir. Whoops, Oh, I need to be careful. I'm going to end up with glue threads all in the wax. Then it will have a funny texture. Okay. Come on. Okay, that's finally melting, I think. Yep. And then let's just put that green one in. Oh, I hope I'm not going to ruin that with the green, because now I'm just thinking, oh, maybe that green's not going to look quite so good. Not sure. Okay. Let's just give this a bit of a stir. Oh, come on. Ah, come on. This is very slow going. I'm so sorry about this. It's a bit like watching paint dry, so do apologise. Right. Okay, hopefully it's eventually melting. Right. Oh, best just check where my little thing is. There it is. I thought, oh, for a minute, I couldn't see where that had gone. So, right. Oh dear. Could have done with a little bit more, I think, of the wax pellets, which is a bit weird, but never mind. Right. Okay, so that's just drying onto there. Now, do I want some bling on here? Let's just see. It's hard to say whilst I've got that great big thing stuck on there, but yeah, might just want a little bit. Just take that off. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? And I'm just going to just pop a little bit of gold on there. Like that. Okay. That looks pretty, doesn't it? I'm wondering whether I need something up here. So, yeah, maybe... Oh, come on. Oh, I don't know now. Thing is, I don't want it to look like I've literally put things all over, but I don't know. I've got that weird blank space up there, which, you know, as you know, I never like a blank space. Oh. I mean, we could even have it right in the middle. I know that's a bit weird. I wouldn't normally do that, but actually it looked quite nice on there. Let's just take that and, yeah, staple this on. Okay. Staple that down. Like that. And just then glue my flower down. Okay, right. Oh, that looks quite pretty, isn't it? I mean, sometimes it's nice to do things that are out the box, you know, outside of the box, aren't they? And yeah, definitely that was outside of the box for me. I wouldn't normally put something in the middle like that, but actually it looked quite pretty in the middle. So yeah. Right, last piece that we're going to be doing today. So again, just going to go around some of the edge bits with some gold. Like that. Okay. Okie dokie. So that's quite pretty. Now, obviously on this one, I do want to, if I can, bring some blue in here to bring that butterfly in, because, you know, it just looks so gorgeous that, yeah, if I can possibly try and get some blue in here somehow, I think that's going to just, oh, just tie it in brilliantly. And yeah, hopefully kind of just look scrumptious. So I'm just having a look. I've got some blue ribbon, which again is, yeah, I mean, brilliant colour match for that, isn't it? So just wondering whether I could just have some stapled on, maybe like across the bottom there. So I'm just going to glue that lace down, again, just straight down the side with that hot glue. Okay. Right. Okay, and then snip that out. Okay. Right, and then all I'm going to do is take this and, yeah, snip again my little dovetail end, because I always like how that looks. And yeah, what I'm going to do now, obviously I need to be a bit careful because this paint is probably still a little bit wet on here, but just going to again ruffle this in, and I want it very you know, sort of scruffy and not too uniform across here. So like that. Okay, and then just this little bit here. Oh my goodness, how gorgeous does that look? And I'm going to dovetail this end as well. Oh, I love how that looks. That's so pretty, isn't it? Yeah, I really, really, really love how that looks. It's just, oh, yummy, yummy, yummy. Right, let's just check if we want anything else, because of course, you know, never quite done. Yeah, I mean, we could just have like a little flower somewhere, maybe there. I mean, not that it needed anything else, to be perfectly honest. It, you know, it's got stuff all over it, but you know, just, yeah, something else to just take it to the next level, kind of make it just, you know, stand out a little bit more. Okay. Oh, maybe some bling on top of the ribbon. Now, the only thing is, obviously, this ribbon's now a little bit kind of like, you know, bunched up. So, yeah, just need to be a bit careful when obviously gluing down the, you know, the bling, because otherwise it's not really going to be glued down properly, if you see what I mean. So there we go. There we go. Oh, love how that looks. Right, let's have a look. Oh, forgot my candle was still burning. Always a bit of a fire hazard there. So yeah, must be careful with the candle. Right, let's pull in all the bits that we have done. So like I say, I mean, I've had this done for absolutely ages, so this has been a really good exercise to actually pull it in, because like I say, it was actually just at the side getting damaged, you know, more and more damaged. So yeah, oops, nearly pulled in one from the other time. But yeah, so these are the bits that we have made, and I mean, I just absolutely love them. We've got a really nice eclectic mix, you know, lots of yeah, quite different kind of looks on here, but don't they just look so scrumptious? I just absolutely love, love, love how they all look. They're so pretty, aren't they? So yeah, I mean, again, I hope that you found some inspiration here, and yeah, have fun if you are resurrecting something, maybe pulling something out that, you know, like me, has been sat maybe on your desk, on your floor, you know, whatever, maybe getting damaged, or maybe just, you know, just sat there not being used, you know, and yeah, just kind of pull it out and, you know, resurrect it and, you know, maybe kind of finish it off. Obviously I've got these bits still left to do, But you know, at least I've kind of made a start, because yeah, that had been one of those things that again I'd been meaning to do and just was kind of sat there, yeah, like I say, getting damaged. So I hope that you like the bits that we've made, and yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks then, bye.